Hello, hi, my name is Ekua Cant, and I'm a career coach and employee wellbeing specialist.
Hello and welcome to Obehi Podcast. I'm your host, Obehi Ewanfo, and I strongly believe that everyone has a story to share. Now let's get started into this episode.
I work with women one-to-one to help them to create career success on their own terms. So whether that is work-life balance, whether that is a promotion, a pay rise, moving jobs, becoming self-employed, any of the above, or whatever makes them feel successful and happy and thriving in their career, is the work that I do. Secondly, I work with organizations and companies really on employee well-being, morale, and helping them to retain diverse staff. So that work includes working with them on coaching, e-learning products, webinars, masterclasses, talks, and really enabling their people to feel valued, gain, of course, to be their number one cheerleader. So that's it.
All right, that's great. Do you want to tell me how, first, a little bit about your background in that, did you grow up in UK or were you born somewhere and you came to the UK? Do you want to say anything about that?
Sure. So I have had an international background. I was born in Leeds in the UK. That is correct, but I didn't spend most of my childhood in the UK. My dad was in the armed forces. He was a medical doctor, and so he was posted. So that means we travelled with him on each assignment he was sent on. We have lived in Germany, America, and different parts of the UK.
What about the why? Why did you decide to set up this coaching business? Of course, now you are happy people. Is there any reason behind that, or just for the money? You're laughing. Come on.
Do you know what came straight to my mind is I work hard for the money. I work hard for the money, so you better treat me right. All kidding aside. No, it is not just for the money. Yes, obviously every business person is in business to make money, but I'm also in business to have an impact and to make the world better. And the reason that I became a career coach is because in my own personal career, I've done a lot of career changing and done many different things. And so, you know, when I decided to become a career coach, it was through a long history of doing other opportunities. So in the first instance, I was a career civil servant. So I worked for the government doing administration first, and then I trained to be a project manager. I developed an interest in technology. So I became a project manager that was working on websites, digital projects, and helping create amazing digital things for the public sector, for the UK government. But then I always had a hankering for, being creative and wanting to start my own thing. So I started to go to meetups and find out more about technology, more about people who could create apps and different tech products. I was decided to think about whether I could learn to code, and I did actually take a basic coding course, but I realized that wasn't where my strengths and my talents lies. My talent really lies more in organizing and helping people to share their ideas with the world. So in fact, I did create my own enterprise back in the day called the Hackathon Queen. And that was really about bringing people together. So people who were creative, people who were designers, people who were software engineers, people from all parts of the tech spectrum who would come together for a day or a weekend to create digital products, normally in a competition type affair where they would be judged on their products and services, and then they would win a prize, and then hopefully they would go on to make their tech unicorn. That never happened to me, but did launch a lot of interesting tech products. But to circle back to why I became a career coach, and that is basically in 2018. I started a really beautiful tech startup with my husband. It was called DrinkSpot, as in drinks and a robot. And it was about selling, drinks from little man and women on the out there who was producing drinks, but they didn't have anyone to advertise and to take their drinks into offices and like larger organizations where they may want to have celebrations, or they may want to have lunches or awards or whatever. And they needed somebody to be the face of their product. So for a good price, I would sell their products on their behalf under my umbrella of my company, and using the technology that my husband created, which was a chatbot. So you're able to access our service, which was an on-demand drink service. So if you imagine Uber Eats, but just for drinks, or delivery, the same kind of thing. So I was running that business, and it was really great and interesting, and we had customers, but I wasn't content with that. I basically had an event service, and also I had, yes, you're going to say, wow, a robot hire service, because the name of the company was called Drinks and Bots, Big Robots. So I wanted to hire out this drink serving robot, but sadly that company failed. And then I had a timeout, and then I realized actually coaching was what I wanted to do, and that is how I became a career coach, because that was my calling.
All right, that's great, coaching. Now, can you tell me something about who you are serving, about who are the audience of yours? Why do you choose this particular audience instead of maybe every other person?
Yes, so I have two audiences, as I said in the beginning. So professional women who are wanting to, understand how they can be their best selves in their career. And their career isn't just simply the work that they do; it's how they balance and manage their career with their life. Because as we know, we aren't just robots that are out there working in the workplace. We are thinking and feeling beings, and we want to be working for companies where we feel that we are valued, that we have the opportunity to grow, that we have the opportunity to progress, and we have the opportunity to make an impact or a difference, or just to make the money that we'd like to make. I'm not here to judge you about how you want to run your career, but I am here to help you to be happy and satisfied, and that you're getting what it is that you want from your career. So that is the first thing. And then the second thing, obviously, is I am super passionate about helping companies to understand that diversity and inclusion does pay. It helps the companies to be more profitable and more successful. And in that work that I do, I help them with giving their employees the skills and the talents and the confidence that they need to be excellent and creative employees that benefit both themselves and the companies they work for.
Uh-huh. You did also make mention of digital products. I don't know if you want to say something more about that, because some people, I think they want to know how maybe they can also do something for themselves in terms of digital products. Can you say something about that? What do you do in those areas?
In digital products, well, I mean, as I was saying, I run these events called hackathons, and hackathons are events where you can go to for a day or a weekend. In fact, if you search on meetup.com or the equivalent in wherever you live in the world, just any website that helps you to find local events where people are coming together to create tech products. And the idea is that, there would be normally a topic. So, it might be about, how to make sure that you can get bus timetables, or how you can, find the best chicken shop in your area, whatever the problem is. There'll be a number of you who have different skills and talents, and you'll come together to create something in a weekend, whether it's an app, whether it's a website, or whether it's some kind of social platform to resolve that problem. And I would say with creating digital products or services, whether it's an app, or whether it's something for your phone, the thing that you need to do is to do that research and to share your idea, and not be afraid to share your concept with the world, because actually there's more than one KFC or McDonald's or whatever.
That's true. That's true. That's true. We need to put ourselves out there. This project started from a research that we did here in Verona, in another part of Italy, where we try to look at the Africans here, their life that we are living, the challenges that we have. So at the end of the day, we make the conclusion that it is good that we put more knowledge out there for people who want to access it now, so they can make better things out of themselves instead of maybe completely continuously complaining that okay, the system is racist, the system is discriminatory, and things like that. So that is actually where we are coming from. So I don't know if maybe the people you are serving, they're also within this demography. I mean, African diaspora. Can you say anything about that, or maybe they're not really part of it?
So I think that I work with people from all around the world, including from the African diaspora, and people who settled in Europe and in America. We're everywhere. And
Yeah, you are all rounder.
exactly. No. I mean, we're definitely everywhere. And so I definitely have come across those people in my work, and it's a great pleasure to help and to serve them and to help them to understand and to realize that there is much opportunity, but it is how we train our mind. And as you said, it is about seeing the opportunity. It's about understanding that here's a big thing. Our circumstances are temporary. Yes, we may be in circumstances which aren't perfect or ideal, but there is never perfection. So it's really about what we use our minds and what the action that we take to actually improve our circumstances, and not just focusing on the things that we cannot change or control.
Mm-hmm. All right. Talking of these circumstances, talking of the possibility of turning maybe what some people can say as problem into opportunity. What can you tell me about UK? Looking at the people that you deal with, what kind of opportunity are out there that people can take advantage of? What kind of, let's say, the problem that people can turn into opportunity for themselves?
So, I mean, there are many, problems that can be turned into opportunities, but it's about, understanding like really what is the problem, and how can you fix it, but also, how can you create something that is useful, and somebody would pay to get that pain resolved. And the thing is, though, you don't have to have millions of people, but you do have to have enough people that if it's going to be business like this. Obviously, if you want to be a charity, that is fine, and you can do it that way. But if your aim and aspiration is for it to be a business, then you do have to ensure that what you're creating does have enough people that would want to buy it, and also that when you're creating it, you create it with those people, so that they know that it's coming, and that you're building that trust and that support as you go. Because what's interesting actually is that there's been a very big movement around what do I call it, like black businesses, supporting black businesses, spending your money with black and African and people who are doing that work. Because, and here's the thing, like we were talking about before, sometimes we're there complaining and saying, oh, that we're not seeing what we want to see, but the people are there. We're not choosing until more recently, I would say, to acknowledge the work that they're doing and actually spending our money with them. And I think that we can spend our money with them. If we don't have the money, we can talk about them, we can share about them. Everyone has a phone, I don't know anyone, even if you have the most basic phone, you can still text and tell your friend that you have seen something, but by some other person who looks like you, and it's great, and maybe they should support it or check it out. And if they have the means, they could buy one too. It doesn't cost to do that.
It doesn't cost to do that. But why do people not do it in some of the cases?
Okay, you want me to be honest? Why people don't do that is because it's fear that there somehow isn't room for everyone. But I want to tell everyone here straight today, there is room. It's your mind. So basically, it's a principle called the scarcity mindset. So the feeling of not having, the lack of, the real the focus on what is not there, the problems, the things that are holding them down, right? But at the end of the day, as I said, there was always going to be no perfection. But what is better and what will aid you and what will be fruitful for you and your family and those that you know is for you to actually accept that you have a certain amount of something and that you're grateful for what it is that you do have. Because those who are grateful and those who see what they have, even the little that they have, are the happiest inside. And happiness doesn't cost anything, actually. As much as we're all striving to get money, yes, we do work hard for the money, but the money at the end of the day cannot replace the time with your child, the time with your partner, the time with your auntie, the time with your friend. Actually, it's those times when we are smiling, when we are laughing, when we're eating our chicken and our jollof, that we are really enjoying life.
You seem to enjoy a lot of jollof rice.
I
do. Of course, we must enjoy it. That's our food. I enjoy it a lot too. My wife is very good on that. So when I eat the jollof rice, in fact, a friend of mine, Italian, the other day, he told me, "Hey, when are you going to invite me again so that we can come to the house to eat jollof rice?" It's good. It's good. It's good. All right. Now, the client that you are serving, do they complain to you or some of the problem they have of why they are not where they are? Because if people want something, if they don't already have it, it's because something is stopping them from getting it. I believe this is what you are helping them to cross, that bridge. So what problem do they complain to you about?
Yes, well, they complain that they are not getting paid enough. They complain that the boss doesn't recognize the work that they do. They complain that they don't feel that their voice is being heard in their workplace. And these are common problems. But what I say to them is those problems stem from themselves. They have to speak up. In order for people to know and to be sure of the good work that they're doing. There's a phrase that is often used, your work speaks for itself. And that is a myth. It does not speak for itself. You actually have to open your mouth and say, I, Ekua, I, Obi, have done this work. And this is what I've done. And this is what, Peter and Sarah and, Juanita have said about how great it is. You actually have to open your mouth to say that. And again, it's the same with the pay. Yes, you come into the company and they agree to pay you a salary. But, if you are doing work that is more, then you have to open your mouth and you have to say that this is why you should make the case for that pay rise. And similarly, with building your confidence, you have to do the work. You have to feed your mind with the things and the thoughts that help you to know that I, Ekua, and I, Obi, believe that I am my own best asset. And then I will go out every day, living it and breathing it. But what happens, sadly, is the people that I'm seeing until they've done the work and that we do together is that they are presenting as a problem, and when you're presenting as a problem and that mindset, you are the one who's holding yourself back. And so until you decide to actually take action and you stop some of those things that you're saying, and even if it's just in your mind, it shows with how you're presenting in your workplace, because everyone knows somebody who is complaining and moaning and not doing anything and expecting to get all the things compared to somebody who is actually out there, who is giving, who is sharing and telling people about what it is that they're doing and why it is that they should be getting what they are desiring.
Mm-hmm. This sounds to me like people having a kind of a blockage that they don't know how to cross over. Sometimes they don't know that they have this blockage. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know, So...
Obi, okay. Yeah, I will accept that. There is the known unknown. Yeah. But what I do know, Obi, and what I know is that you know that you're not getting something. So you do know. You may not know exactly how to fix it, but you know you're not getting something. And we all know that. So that's what I would say there.
All right. That's important. And I want you to speak more on that. Sometimes we have this belief, don't like you were saying before. Some of this belief that we know we don't have what we don't have, no. Because if you are suffering, you know that you are suffering, Of course, maybe you don't know some of how you can get out of that. So I'm trying to see if the belief, sometimes the limited belief that we have that okay, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I will not be able to do that. Maybe I will just keep on suffering, I don't know if those one have any role to play in the kind of life that we live at the end of the day, particularly as we are looking at businesses on improving ourselves.
Yes, the limiting beliefs do have a factor to play, but they are indeed things that that we need to become aware of. And once we know that that is what's in our mind, we have to make a change. We have to decide that we no longer want to believe those things. And in order for us to decide that, we have to actually say different things to ourselves. So if you're saying that, oh, I'm not good enough, then why don't you say, I am working towards getting where it is I want to go, and just having that constant belief, because if you yourself are not believing in your potential, then how can you expect anybody else to? Because at the end of the day, if you are going to be the business owner in the first instance, it starts with you, and you have to be the person who's proactive in your mind and in your actions. And if you are not doing that, then you cannot blame anybody. You have to take ownership and responsibility. I tell you the hard stuff because that is really where it's at. Because actually, we heard an amazing story recently in the UK about this athlete. His name is Mo Farah, and he came to the UK from another country. I believe it might have been Rwanda. And he, was separated from his family and his siblings, etc. But we've just found recently that his name actually is not Mo Farah; it's something else entirely. And he took an assumed identity, and he came into the UK, and he's been successful, and he has basically been taken on as a national hero, because he's a great athlete, all this stuff. But he came from a background where he had nothing, and basically he was trafficked into the country. Now that's a hard story, right? Now he could have stayed believing that he was only worth nothing, that his background from where he came from was all he would ever be. But he, in his mind, decided to take the opportunity that he had when he came to the UK to not live in the lack mindset. He decided, actually, I'm here, I'm a stranger, I'm a foreigner, but actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to learn. I'm going to use my talent. I'm going to use my skill. I'm going to, even when it gets hard, I am still going to, work towards improving the God-given talents that I have, and I'll see what I can do with that. And as he did that, he was able to, really get support for his running talent. And that took him so far. I mean, his story is incredible.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Where do you think people should start from in terms of maybe repositioning themselves in society so they can get better from it?
So I think that they should feed their minds. They should really take the time to think about what it is that they think most often, but also who it is that they spend time with. Because who you spend time with also affects how it is that you're going to move from your current situation into a different situation. So I urge you, and this isn't coming from a place where you have to make choices. Do you want to stay around the people who have they don't see opportunity? They are really feeling controlled by the circumstance, and they're not people that are aspiring for more. And if that is the case, that is fine. You stay with them. But if you are somebody who realizes that you have potential and you want to take the journey, then you should find and reach out to other people who are ahead of you, who are doing greater things. And yes, I know that a common thing is that, but these people might reject me because I am this and they are that. You'll find that actually everybody has a story and a journey, and nobody came out with having all the things. They had to work to get to that thing. So whilst yes, some people may not respond and want to support and help you. There'll be others who will be, you'll be surprised, who will be like, yes, come with me here, or actually here's the group that I went into before I was able to do what it is that I'm doing now, and this is the group and the place that I think suggests that you go to. But I say you need to take action on what you're reading, who you are being with, and what you are saying in your mind.
Thank you for that. Now, say maybe you meet somebody, a woman, or I want to believe that most of the people you work with are maybe women. I'm just guessing, this woman who need your help. What is the process? How do you get this individual to maybe where she is to where she wants to be in your coaching business?
Mm-hmm. So I think that self-awareness is so important, and awareness gives us choice and freedom, and that was actually a phrase by John Ashraf. And the starting point, when anyone comes to me wanting to improve in their career or wanting to work on a specific career goal, is to talk about where they are now and why they are there, and also for them to understand and to talk about some of the things that have been troubling them. Because until we talk about some of the things that have been troubling us, and that we decide to, either to let them go or to basically to understand that they are not our future. They are things that have happened to us in the past, and we cannot just keep holding on to them as a blocker or a barrier for our progress. We acknowledge that they have happened, but we then make a decision to move forward. And in that moving forward, we together will be like, okay, we know that thing has happened in the past, and what are we going to do to move towards getting to the place that where they want to go. And obviously we work to make a plan of action and activities. And all of those things really do involve, feeding the mind, whether it's through affirmation, gratitude, prayer, whatever, as well as actually doing specific action towards working towards the goal. And that is the basis of the work and that I do.
All right, thank you for that. Now, can you tell me are you most satisfied from in the work that you do? Before I was saying whether you are doing it just for the money. And of course, we had a lot of laugh about that. Okay, so what is your satisfaction in this work that you do, helping people through your coaching?
Yes. So for me, I wrote a book 2 years ago called "Be Your Number One Cheerleader," and for me, the satisfaction that I get is helping people to understand why it is that they should be their own cheerleader, why they should be the person that is most excited for their growth, most excited for them moving forward, most excited for them to win, and most excited for them to actually commit and progress in the work that they're doing. So I feel satisfied when I work with women and organizations and groups of people, whether that's through my training or whether it's through my talks or whether it's through my e-learning products. They commit to the process, and then they come out with the tools and they actually implement, they use them, and then they themselves see the benefits, but also they are able to enact it by the behaviors that they do. And it's what makes me so happy is when they come back to me and they're speaking differently. Because when I speak to them initially, I ask them to tell me, about how they're talking about themselves in an interview, for example, or how they would pitch themselves. And I would say 9 times out of 10 when they first come to me, they tell me something, and I say to them, well, I've listened to what you said, but if you told me that this is your pitch, I would have to say, I'm very sorry, but what you've said here is not a good sales pitch. So maybe you don't realize that this is what you have said, but I'm just repeating back to what you said, because when we are so used to and conditioned by our own thoughts, we don't actually hear them until someone else points it out, and then we're like, oh, actually, I think it sounds like that, and I'm like, yes, that is what you're actually saying. So we need to be mindful, and we need to get that feedback from others, whether it's a coach or a friend or somebody else who isn't you, because we're very conditioned to hearing our own thoughts, but not challenging and asking ourselves, is that actually correct? And is that really the way that I want to be presenting myself?
All right. If you were to say maybe this is the central message of your coaching business, or what you or what your intention is for your audience, what would that be?
So my intention is that we all need to build confidence, and we all need to think the thoughts that serve us. So I think daily we need to go into each day being organized and being focused. And so we would do that through a number of different practices, whether it is affirmations, I am, I can, I will, those things, whether it's some kind of level of spirituality, whatever that is to you, some reading, some exercise, but a number of things that make sure that when you come into the day, you're energized and you're focused and you're really about solving problems. You are ready and you are focused and you are with the mindset of, whatever happens, you can overcome.
I love that. That is powerful. All right. Now, how can people connect with you? I don't know if you have a book there that you're selling or something. I wanted to use this few seconds to promote yourself.
Yes, so they can get my book. That's Be Your Number One Cheerleader. It's available on Amazon and on my website. That's www.beyournumberonecheerleader.com. They can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. That is Ekua. That's EKUA CANT.
Thank you for that. Now, what will be your final thoughts today in this conversation that we have had?
So my final thought would be, make sure that you affirm to yourself how great that you are and the path that you're going on, and that your circumstance is temporary. And as long as you are committed to moving forward, you can find a way to be in the ideal situation.
That is powerful. I love that. I really do. Is there another thing you would like to say? Maybe something I didn't ask you to conclude the conversation?
Yes, I would say that remember that you are your best asset. So whilst you are working towards your goals, remember that you're human, and that if you are sick, take that time to rest, because if you are unwell, you cannot give your best. So make sure that you balance your desire for growth and your hunger to get where you need to go, with also making sure that you look after yourself, and that you give yourself the time to heal, and you do what is right to live a balanced life as you can.
That is perfect. Thank you so much, sister. I appreciate it, and this has been an honor talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you subscribe so you never miss any of our future episodes. Rate and review Obehi Podcast and share with your friends who might need it. I remain Obehi Ewanfo. Thank you so much for listening, and talk to you in the next episode.